Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of Ashwani sir and Amit sir, I extend a very warm welcome to everyone present here for today's interaction session with our esteemed alumni from Eon Group. We are delighted to have with us Mr. Garv Aveja, Mr. Lakshay Goyal, and Mr. Vaibhav Sharma. We truly appreciate them taking the time to share their experiences, career journeys, and valuable insights with us. I'm sure this session will help us gain a better understanding of the industry and inspire us as we prepare for our own careers. I encourage everyone to make the most of this opportunity and actively participate in the interaction. Without taking much of your time, I would now like to invite our speakers to begin the session. Thank you, and I hope you all have a very great session.
Hi, thanks for the welcome. Let me know if you can see and hear me fine. Can anybody let me know if you can see me and
Yes,
hear
sir,
me
you are
fine?
audible.
Okay, so let me start.
Yes,
Thank
sir, you are audible.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So now let me start. So I am Vaibhav, and I joined ION as a technical analyst in January 2026. I was from computer science batch, and I'm currently working in the DevOps team. So basically, I guess I'll just tell you about my interview process. We actually had to face two interview processes, one in June, one in November, but I guess you guys would follow the pattern which we followed in November, which were everything offline. So there is a technical round offline, then there's a stakeholder round, and then there's a future fit interview. The interview basically revolves around, at least in my case, it revolved around for the technical analyst role. It revolved around your resume, basically your internship experience. SQL, they did open like JFG for me to do SQL queries live in front of them. And what else? Yep. You also need to focus on some interview puzzles. You can find them all over the internet. Very famous interview puzzles, nothing too crazy. Besides that, I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. In the stakeholder round, it's more communication and how you handle different situations, similar for the future fit interview. So that's my experience. You
Thank
have
you,
a
Weber, for sharing that. So for Lakshya and me, we are into like the data scientist role. This that role is not coming this year. I hope it is TPA now, and TPA has hiring for both the roles. It used to be TA before. Now it is data science plus TA. So specifically for data science or analytics role, the interview process has the technical interview, the case study round as the first rounds. Then we have the stakeholder round and the future fit round. So about the technical round in data science, we have questions around SQL. We have question around Python, machine learning, AI, Gen AI. So those are the broad topics which we discuss over there. And there is not a fixed template. Everyone has a unique experience as at their interviews for the data science role. So it is going to be unique for you as well. Maybe it can go a little deeper to the ML side of things. Maybe it can go a little deeper in the analytics side of things. But the general topics remain the same. You should prepare, like, be versed in Python, SQL, pandas. So you may get a chance to write queries in pandas. That is not expected, and that happens a lot. So anything you want to add, Lakshay, for the technical round?
Yeah, thank you for my introduction as well. Hey guys, I am Lakshay and I am also in the data science role. A few things apart from what Gaurav already mentioned that I'd like to add. First of all, guys, you need to pay attention to whatever is in your resume, like even for the TPA role and even for the dev role, I'd say. The interview process is dynamic for everybody, it changes based on what experience you bring to the table and what they are looking for. So be well versed with what you're actually writing in your resume and be ready to defend it technically and both from a numbers perspective, right? To the stakeholder round, a key focus point can end up becoming the numbers you have written in your resume. Let's say you say, I have improved product X by 5% or 10%. So where did you get those numbers? That ends up becoming a focus. And another thing that's a quirk for the technical round, and it's not sure to happen to everybody, but can be brought to the table is case studies. So be prepared to handle case studies. They are very vague questions. You can find the examples all over the internet of what the case studies entail. But if I had to quote one specific example, would be say uh, for a firm like Amazon, how many customer support executives should they hire, given they have none right now, right? That would be one example that they would want you to reason through. The final result is not what matters. What matters is basically your thought process and how well you are able to articulate your thoughts. And yeah, apart from that, I guess Webber and Gov mentioned most of what is going to be the process. So yeah.
In short, एक अगर मैं tip दूं general, so for every round, answer सही है या नहीं से ज़्यादा try to give the thought process you have, or try to establish a logical reasoning. That matters the most to companies. They're not like there to assess only the skills or how much you know, because they know you are fresh out of college and you are there to learn. And eventually you will learn. And we have tools like GPT to support the coding nowadays. So no one goes into technical depths only now. They also see how good you are at thinking specifically, how good you are at problem solving maybe. And it just you can just not answer it that I'm good at problem solving. You have to actually show that through your responses. So try to understand what the interviewer is asking you before answering itself. So try to focus on what you speak and formulate it well. um, that is actually what is going to help you. And for the puzzles, which Web have mentioned, a good resource is you go to GFG, Geeks for Geeks, and search for top 100 interview puzzles. I personally did that, and it summed up like pretty well. Nothing comes out of it actually, even for other companies as well.
So the puzzles are important. Like make sure you don't skip over them. And एक और like बहुत important चीज जो ज़्यादा current focus है company के लिए भी, and I guess majorly for all companies, not just Ion, is going to be around AI. So be well versed about what AI is about, what are its capabilities. Even if experience नहीं है previous AI के साथ, just be well versed enough to the point where you can handle your own about the questions जो AI से related हों, राइट? बहुत ज़्यादा टेक्निकल डेप्थ में नहीं भी पता तो भी इट विल बी फाइन, बट मेजरली क्या कैपेबिलिटीज़ हैं, क्या कंस्ट्रेंट्स हैं, एंड किस चीज़ के अराउंड काम कर सकते हैं, एंड किस टाइप के सिस्टम्स मेजरली बिल्ड करने में हेल्प कर सकता है, knowing that is definitely going to be a boon.
Then, if we discuss about the stakeholder round, technical round का template is not defined. सबका अलग अलग हो सकता है. You get the topics, but you cannot define the template itself. So the next round is in case study still asked. Yes, the case study is still asked. You will have a dedicated case study round as well.
Are you
Um,
sure about that? We didn't have that in November.
uh, but the one mentions the meeting they had with Akansha,
Oh,
that mentions it.
okay.
Yes.
आई थिंक मोस्टली केस स्टडी राउंड को उन्होंने टेक्निकल राउंड में ही रोल अप कर दिया है, so they'll go through the technical round first, and if they feel like it's faring well, they just directly start with the case study round.
Okay. Yep. How long is the
So
recruitment process? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
continue. Go ahead.
I was just saying how long somebody's asking how long is the recruitment process overall. I guess for you guys, since it's all offline now, it shouldn't last more than a day because you will just go interview after interview. And if you clear them all, you'll get the mail, I think, next day because it's all offline. They won't call you 2 days offline. That's what I'm assuming. Is it the same for dev role? Yeah, I'd let you answer that.
I guess Lakshya has better knowledge about the development
Yeah,
side as well.
yeah, for the dev role, okay, another thing that you guys probably should know about the company is another key focus is around cross functional involvement, right? So teams don't expect कि इस structure के around built होंगी कि if it's a developer team तो सिर्फ developers ही हैं, या if it's a data science team तो सिर्फ data scientists ही हैं. So like cross functional teams हैं, for example my own team, I have more developers apart from me. I'm the only data scientist there. So dev role के लिए key focus is going to be on the technical aspects, right? उन चीज़ों पे ध्यान देना ज़रूरी है. System design के बारे में questions you can expect, DSA के questions you can expect in the technical round, and for the dev role specifically, even some stakeholder rounds go into technical depth rather than seeing ki how well you fare under pressure. They will change the round to just technical round if they feel like it. So be prepared for things like that.
Okay, is
So
the
the next
technical?
question is
Yeah.
for technical analyst, does they ask CS fundamentals and system design questions? CS fundamentals they do ask because that is something you are expected if you are coming from a BTech role, BTech like degree itself. System design questions, was it asked above? Like not a primary
Mm,
focus, right?
no, definitely not a primary focus. I mean, if you're really unlucky, you might face one. So it's not. I wouldn't say completely ignore it, but in 9 out of 10 cases, you won't be asked system design.
But yes, CS fundamentals is something that you should be prepared with because after all, it is a technical role. So be prepared with that. And even if you are strong with system design, do mention that because as Lakshya already mentioned, the teams are cross-functional.
Yeah.
ऐसा नहीं है कोई सिर्फ analyst का काम करता है. There might be some development tasks as well if you are interested. So you can actually go for and tell the interview that you are interested with system design. But just a heads up, be confident about it. बस बोल नहीं देना and if you are confident with it then you can go around.
Play around your strengths, basically. Is the technical round online or offline? I mean, I'm not sure. We phased it offline in November. I'm not sure if you guys will have it the same. In June we had it online, but in November we had it offline. So not sure. As Owen, next is the offline interview again. Same question, not sure. And how to prepare for case study?
How to prepare for case study? I think I'd like to take this. Case study के लिए the most important bit is unstructured thinking, right? Agar you guys want a sample of how it looks like directly expanding on the question I posed earlier, ki how many customer support executives should a company like Amazon hire? It could be faced something very simple, right? You can be like, oh, they might end up receiving, let's say, 1,000 calls a day for product related queries. So they should have around 500 to 1,000 personnel. And that's where your thinking could end entirely. And keep in mind, ye answer is not going to cut it. Conversely, if you guys go into the fact of building an example out of your own personal experiences, say how often do you order from Amazon, how often the general populace orders from Amazon, how many products do you end up actually needing help or regarding queries with, and how many times you out of those end up contacting Amazon service, then building numbers from there of how many times is this likely to happen in a month, and what is the general let's say capacity for one customer support executive to help with number of calls. तो बहुत सारी चीजें assumption based हो सकती हैं, saying कि एक customer support executive 2 लोगों की queries handle कर सकता है, that is a key assumption that you can make, that's absolutely fine. But जितने भी numbers हैं वो सब granular assumptions में based होने चाहिए, and then you solve those numbers, then you resolve those numbers to a final answer. And अगर thinking pattern इतना structured and इस तरीके से present किया जाएगा, तो the interviewer is going to like it. The whole point is कि case study के लिए कोई rhyme और rhythm नहीं है to what kind of questions will be asked, but हर एक के लिए ये general pattern कि बहुत granular assumptions लेना, trying to relate it to some experience that you guys have already have, and then वहां से build करना पूरे thought process को is going to bring structure to your thought process as well, like better answer capability आएगी, plus the interviewer will end up helping you a bit as well कि ठीक है, योर थिंकिंग प्रोसेस लुक्स गुड, हाउ अबाउट दिस, कि ये एक एक्स्ट्रा डायमेंशन जो आपने शायद नहीं सोचा वहीं पे, ये ऐड करेंगे तो चीजें कैसे चेंज होंगी एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू आंसर दोस, देन आई थिंक इट इज गोइंग टू गो प्रीटी वेल.
And adding to this, there will be situations not specifically to case study but scenario based questions भी हो सकते हैं कि अगर ऐसा हो गया what will you do, specifically in the stakeholder round. If you are clearing the technical round, they try to assess a person's abilities apart from the technical ones in the stakeholder round. So there will be situations where they will lead you to uncomfortable scenarios or situations, and what they are checking is how agile you are, how flexibly you can deal with different situations. So be sure to actually listen to what they are prompting or questioning at, and respond accordingly. Show that you are flexible enough. Be ready to comfort them with your answers. That is for the stakeholder rounds specifically.
When can we expect the next round, which is technical round online? I mean, gap between rounds. For us, there was not much gap. After OA, I think, if I remember correctly, the results were declared in like 2 3 days, and we then we immediately had a technical round online. I'm talking about June. And after technical round, online technical round, the same day we got to know that we qualified for Ion Day, which was offline rounds, and that happened 2 3 days after that. So the entire process should be pretty quick. Ion generally hires from Mate as the first students they hire for the 2027 batch. We were also amongst the first hire for 2026 batch, so I'm expecting the same for you guys. When is the Ion Day? But we are not organizing the hiring. I'm not sure.
Just a clarification, आयोन डे कुछ specific date नहीं होती. That is
Hmm.
just a term for the day the recruits go to office for in office rounds. उसको आयोन डे बोलते हैं. So आयोन डे multiple times होता है अलग अलग
Mhm.
campuses के लिए. I
Yeah.
also had this assumption back then कि एक ही दिन होगा, उसी दिन पे सबके interviews होंगे, but that is not how it
Yeah.
happens. So for Ion Day, like that will be told to you by the talent acquisition staff itself. So for that, you have to wait for formal communications.
The technical will be done in July itself. I would appreciate if you guys don't ask us questions about timeline, because we ourselves are
Yeah.
not any any aware of how the hiring process will work for you guys. It changes every time, so we have no clue on that. Next,
Uh,
for yeah, go ahead.
just a clarification over there. I think Sarthak also had a question above. Result for OA is declared in November. So actually, what happened with us is we got selected at Ion in July itself. We had the complete process in July, but the offers were held due to some reasons. And then we again had to appear for the process in November. So we gave the complete process. We had it twice, uh, except the OA. OA we just gave it once in July itself. So I hope that is not the case with you, and you clear it once and for all. You get the offers and everything is good going. So essentially, yes, technical rounds will be done in July or maybe the next month. You can expect that timeline. I cannot guarantee that. Again, wait for formal communications for that. Webov, do you want to take the next question?
Okay, for analyst technical interviews, SQL puzzles and CS fundamentals, anything else? Yeah, you should be. I mean, they did ask a few Python questions, so you should be knowing Python. Does they have a resume open meanwhile? Of course. They're going to like deep dive into your resume. If you have done an internship, try to focus on your internship more, because that should be a strong point. If you have any project, they even opened my GitHub to see my projects, and they were like, okay, this link is not working and whatever. So make sure your resume is all perfect and fine. And besides the topics you mentioned, I would like to say Python from the top of my mind. Yeah, SQL puzzles, CS fundamentals, Python. CS fundamental is in itself is a broad domain. You should be knowing OOPS and CNN, all those things. Yeah, this should pretty much sum it up. And make sure you're not lying in your resume. If you've written something and the interviewer points that out, you should be fully confident to defend that and explain what you have written. All right.
ऑल्सो कॉलेज में हमारी आदत होती है कि हम स्किल्स वाले सेक्शन को बहुत ज्यादा भर देते
Yeah.
हैं. जस्ट मेक श्योर कि स्किल्स वाले सेक्शन में अगर कोई स्किल है और वो नहीं आती, बस डाल दी है. ट्राई टू हैव एन आंसर फॉर दैट, बिकॉज एकदम से बात हो जाएगी नहीं. बट मेक श्योर यू आर नॉट having bluff statements in the resume itself, because the resume you submit before the OA rounds is the one they have open. Also, a tip from my side, and I guess Lakshya's as well,
Yeah.
do carry physical resumes. Do offer it to your interviewers. That
Mm.
actually creates a mark. uh, they won't even ask for it, and they have the resumes open on their laptops, but do offer physical copies. That creates a mark. And this is not only for Ion, this is for all the hiring or interviews rounds you will be giving for other companies as well. Do keep that in mind.
Yep.
Yeah, that's important. Uh, okay, what next?
Lakshay, you want to take the next question?
Yeah, which resources did you guys use for SQL? For SQL, I recommend two different resources. First one being W3 Schools, just to revise upon SQL fundamentals. Like most fundamentals already वहाँ से clear हो जाएंगे. You can just search for W3 Schools SQL, and that will be the first link that pops up. Right? वहाँ से you can cover most of the things. One thing to keep in mind, and I guess Gulf can attest to it too, is window functions are important, right? So not just basic SQL, somewhat intermediate SQL is also important. So do remember to practice that. And for actually solving questions, I think it was HackerRank, if I remember right. Like you can go ahead, वहाँ पे you can find easy, medium, and hard level questions for SQL directly, and you can end up choosing different versions. You can use MySQL and just directly practice queries as well. So that's going to be a good help. Apart from that, can we edit the resume before the interview? Like I'd like to remove a few things. Uh, Generally, अच्छी practice नहीं है ये to try and remove a few things from your resume, because उन लोगों के पास resume आप सबका जो आपने submit किया था before the OA वो already opened होगा. So if there's a difference within the resumes, वो जरूर पूछ सकते हैं questions. But if you guys feel like कि किसी चीज में confidence नहीं है तब लिख दिया था but you don't really want it to be asked in your interview, तो अभी के लिए like not sure, I want both of you guys to pitch in as well. But I think removing it and then offering the physical copy is always going to be better. Kyunki once you are offering the physical copy and if they are going to ask questions from that resume, that will tailor their experience as well. Right? Be ready to defend कि कुछ चीजें अगर missing है तो क्यों missing है. But I think this might help. What about you guys? Do you think?
I was giving the same tip, just waiting for you to answer it. Carry a physical copy, offer it if they accept it, and ask questions from that particular resume. That's good for you. If they do not accept it, do mention I have some changes in this. So that depends completely on how you offer the resume to them.
Mm.
So that is not a big issue, I'll say, and you should just be truthful over there. Why specifically you have removed or edited something out. So next question on a domain Vaibhav is working on.
I've written.
इसमें AWS और Docker है, not confident about. How should I defend those? Do
I
you
mean,
so,
you answered it. Reach Ion Day. They'll focus on that. I mean, as Gav mentioned.
or if you are asked questions from AWS or Docker, you can always go around a project or where you use them. And if you have mentioned, I'm sure you have some background about it. Maybe you are not confident about it, but you can tell them that you are interested and you did a project or so on this particular, or however you have mentioned it, the background, and you can tell that you are ready to explore. So that can be done. What about the technical round online if we have changes? So in
Uh,
that case, you cannot submit the physical resume and like
Good luck.
good luck. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. At that point, good luck. Like, okay, technical round will be like Gav just mentioned, right, guys? Two important things. First one, agar if it's something technical, let's say it's a language like Python, right? Expect कि उससे syntax वो लोग पूछ सकते हैं, उससे queries वो लोग लिखवा के देख सकते हैं, and that is going to be somewhat important, right? Especially अगर resume में लिखा हुआ है. अगर resume में missing है, it can be fine, it cannot, depends entirely on them. But अगर mentioned है and then they ask something technical, तो वो part defend करना ही पड़ेगा, उसको skip करने का, side step करने का कोई तरीका नहीं है. If it's something more like Docker and किसी general sense में पूछा जाता है, let's say कि Docker कैसे use किया था, which projects did you use Docker on, or what do you know about Docker or anything like that, then you can play around the fact कि आप लोगों ने specifically उसको कैसे use किया था, किस project में use किया था, and like कितना background आपको पता है. You can basically just lay it bare then. So this is the difference, and I guess इतना तो करना ही पड़ेगा, I guess.
And again, a few tips.
Yeah.
Um, झूठ नहीं बोलना है interviews में. People are experienced. They catch that. And since this is the beginning of placement season, you should make sure this for every interview you give. Like the interviewers prefer being honest more than faking a concept that you do not know, because they have in depth questions about it. They are working on those technologies for years. They know when someone actually knows the stuff or is basically just putting words. So be confident with what you say and do not try to bluff around. um, and I guess that is something which actually makes the interviewer um, be impressed by your answers rather than bluffing it around.
Do we have to write the code live in HackerRank? For what role are you appearing? Will they ask us to code as well? Technical analyst. Okay, for technical analyst, they'll ask you SQL queries. I'm not sure if they'll ask you to code it out.
They
In
can
regular,
ask Python questions, because
yeah,
Yeah,
this year technical analyst was also having the DS and analyst roles, other roles.
yeah.
okay, yeah.
And
So
if
So
DS
they will
analyst
ask
role is
Python
included,
questions.
so they will ask, yes.
yep.
Yes, they can ask you code as well. There is another question. So even if you are not like confident with writing the full code, no one is judging the syntax. So feel free for that, unless you are actually typing it on a compiler. On a compiler, it will be required, like you will be required to run it. And it could be there in the online technical rounds that you are asked to share the screen and close all other applications and then open a compiler, online compiler, and write the code. That could be a possibility, because that depends on the role. And basically, for developer, this is a thing that you can expect for. And it also depends on the interviewer. So be confident. That's the tip I'll give here.
Yeah, for Python, what type of questions? For Python, guys, again, as it was mentioned, you can expect uh, pandas queries, right? Apart from that, you can expect NumPy queries, so stuff like that. Nothing too major, nothing too difficult. Like it's not like you won't be able to solve those queries if you don't have access to internet or something. It's not like that, but yeah, you can expect those questions.
Lakshya, do you want to take the next question from Sachin?
Yeah. What do the technical interview rounds look like for STE? Yeah, for STE, once again, technical rounds, although मैं 100% sure नहीं हूँ on this, things can change a bit, especially year on year, things can change for the interview process. So as far as I know, DSA is important, right? Concepts from DSA is important. Apart from that, system design questions are somewhat important. It's not like कि बहुत low level system design questions होंगे. Yeah, it will be something that's way too tough, but you can expect some system design questions, some architecture related questions, maybe some operating system related questions and stuff like that. So that's, I think, all I know. If you guys have anything to add.
And there are interviewers, I can actually name them, who will be asking system design completely, no code, nothing from developers. If you clear the system design, that will be a tough one, like not easy for system design as well. If you are able to tell them low level or high level designs of whatever the problem they are giving, and you clear that well, they won't even ask you a single line of code. That is also a possibility. There could be interviewers who ask you to write a code, or maybe a two or three codes, a small codes basically, or snippets, and they do not ask you theoretical questions. So that completely depends on what your resume tells them, and basically what they see to like see you can excel at, or maybe see they want to judge you on. So that completely depends on that. Vaibhav, do you want to take the questions from Vani? Or sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Okay, interesting question. Could you please tell us a bit about the work culture in the company? I mean, it's cool. It's an MNC, so everything is very professional and work culture and all. I think we can focus on that once we clear the interviews. But still, talking about the work culture, it's pretty chill. You have 5 days work from home, and you do get work from office.
Office.
Sorry,
Office,
work from
yes.
office. You
Yeah,
do get some work from home per quarter. So I'm enjoying there, and I guess same is the case for Lakshya. Yep.
yeah, that's true. So like right now, just one more thing to add. Don't focus too much about the work culture on the company and stuff like that. Right now, your entire focus should be on clearing the interview. These decisions can come later, and you guys can think all of this later once you're through the interview process. So right now, be laser focused on that. Next up is, do we need to focus on DSA for data science role? Uh, okay, not too much, right? From my experience and the experience of my batchmates, it won't be something that's very hard, even if DSA is asked, and it's a pretty rare scenario. But mostly focus on Python related queries, Python, Pandas, NumPy, SQL, stuff like that. So, uh, and machine learning, AI, of course, like those topics will be important if you are going for the data science role. Those topics are something that you absolutely cannot skip. DSA is going to be more or less an iffy scenario at best.
Um, but it is good to have like a small exposure or like a limited exposure to DSA as well, because in my round personally they asked me a question from DSA as well, and they also went for deep learning questions as well. That completely depends on your resume again.
Yeah,
So my resume mentioned about deep learning and agentic AI and stuff, and I was asked questions from that particular domain as well, because the interview I got was a senior executive. So that happens.
yeah, same.
Webber,
So
we do have a question for you as well next.
Okay,
yeah,
so Gene is asking how to have a successful YouTube channel. I mean, you can take inspiration from CDC Mate YouTube channel, 900 subscribers. It's pretty big. I do the same, and I would appreciate if you could type out your full name so that I can reach you out on LinkedIn for personal guidance. Gene, yep. And I think this tells us that we are running out of questions. So, if time permits, we can end this right here. Or do we have any other questions too?
Uh,
Does
do we have any other questions, guys?
yeah. Let's just wait for a minute, see if there are any more questions.
Also, you can reach out to us on our LinkedIn's, or
Yeah,
maybe if you have our numbers as well, because we will be there in college community groups as well. So you can reach out to us for more questions and even personal questions, um, as Gina's asking. So those will be answered over there. All I can say is that.
yeah, guys. Like even if more questions remain, please feel free to reach out to us. And I think this is the last one. What level of TSA can one expect for SGE? Again, I'm not too sure on the details. Sachin, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you more about this. I can tell you about it a bit more by asking some of my friends if time allows, and if you can contact me after this, then that will be fine.
Webov, can you help with this one?
I do
Okay.
remember one question that was asked. It was, I don't remember it exactly, but it was something like move the odd numbers to one side of the array. Basically, the gist of the statement is pretty standard questions. If you've done Shriver sheet or like similar like those, the popular interview questions, you would be able to pass through them easily. But it really also depends on your luck. Shriver sheet has like 500 questions. I'm pretty sure nobody here has done 500 questions. I mean, if I was talking for myself at the start of fourth year, I had not done that. So yeah, you have Gene. Gene, I'd like to talk to you. You s- you sound like a very big DS enthusiast. Okay, I guess. Oh, okay, yeah. We definitely need to end it here. The questions
Yeah,
have ended.
yeah, I think that's all there was.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye bye.
Okay, as we come to the end of today's interaction session, I would like to sincerely thank you, Mr. Gaurav Baveja, Mr. Lakshay Goel, and Mr. Vaibhav Sharma for sharing your valuable experience and insights with us. Your guidance has been truly inspiring and will certainly help us in your career journey. I would also like to thank Ashwini sir and Amit sir and everyone present for making this session a success. Once again, thank you to our speakers for your time and encouragement. We wish you all the very best for the future. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. All the best.